Section 30. Thinking about beings in future ages, Mahamati asked the Buddha, "Bhagavan, please tell us about the practices of realization whereby bodhisattvas become great practitioners." The Buddha told Mahamati, "There are 4 practices, the mastery of which enables bodhisattvas to become great practitioners. And which 4? Becoming adept at distinguishing the perception of one's own mind, perceiving the non-existence of external existence, avoiding views of arising, duration, and cessation, and delighting in the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. These are the 4 practices, the mastery of which enables bodhisattvas to become great practitioners." And how do bodhisattvas become adept at distinguishing the perceptions of their own minds? They regard the 3 realms like this: as merely distinctions of the mind, devoid of a self or what belongs to a self, as motionless and free from coming or going, the result of the habit energy of erroneous fabrications without beginning, and the various forms and phenomena of the 3 realms involving their body, their possessions, and the world around them as perceptions of those fabrications. This is how bodhisattvas become adept at distinguishing the perception of their own minds. And how do bodhisattvas become adept at perceiving the non-existence of external existence? Since everything is a dream or a mirage, they regard the self-existence of everything that exists as a result of the habit energy of erroneous projections without beginning. This is how bodhisattvas become adept at perceiving the non-existence of external existence. And how do bodhisattvas become adept at avoiding views of arising, duration, and cessation? Since whatever exists is like an illusion or a dream, and its existence does not arise from itself, from another, or from a combination of both, but as a distinction of one's own mind, they therefore see external existence as non-existent, consciousness as not arising, and conditions as not combining, but arising due to projections. When they see that all internal or external dharmas in the 3 realms cannot be grasped and are devoid of self-existence, their views of arising cease. And once they know that the self-existence of everything is illusory, they attain the forbearance of non-arising. And once they attain the forbearance of non-arising, they avoid views of arising, duration, and cessation. This is how bodhisattvas become adept at distinguishing and avoiding views of arising, duration, and cessation. And how do bodhisattvas become adept at delighting in the personal realization of Buddha knowledge? Upon attaining the forbearance of non-arising, they dwell at the 8th stage of the bodhisattva path, where they are able to transcend characteristics of the mind, will, and consciousness, the 5 dharmas, the modes of reality, and the 2 kinds of no-self, and where they acquire a projection body. Mahamati asked the Buddha, "Bhagavan, why is it called a projection body?" The Buddha replied, "Mahamati, the reason it is called a projection body is because it travels quickly and without obstruction, like a thought. Thoughts travel to other places countless leagues away unobstructed by rock walls because of the memory of something experienced in the past, and they arise without interrupting the function of one's mind or interfering with one's body. Mahamati, such projection bodies are acquired at one and the same time. Endowed with higher powers and spiritual masteries obtained in the samadhi of the illusory, the different projection bodies of bodhisattvas appear simultaneously, like unobstructed projections, in whatever realms they recall, having vowed to bring those beings to perfection who delight in the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. Thus do bodhisattvas attain the forbearance of non-arising, and dwell at the 8th stage of the bodhisattva path, where they exchange the body characterized by the mind, will, and consciousness, the 5 dharmas, the modes of reality, and the 2 kinds of no-self, for a projection body, and become adept at delighting in the personal realization of Buddha knowledge. These are the 4 practices, the mastery of which enables bodhisattvas to become great practitioners, and to which you should devote yourselves. Section 31. Mahamate once again asked, Bhagavan, please tell us about the causes and conditions of things, so that once we are aware of their characteristics, we bodhisattvas will avoid erroneous views concerning their existence and non-existence, and we will not mistake their appearance as sequential or simultaneous. The Buddha replied, Mahamate, all things are characterized by 2 kinds of conditions, namely external and internal. External conditions include such things as a lump of clay, a post, a wheel, a piece of string, a stick, water, and manual techniques. It is from the application of such conditions that a pot results. As with a pot from clay, the application of conditions likewise results in a rug from yarn, a mat from grass, a sprout from a seed, and butter from milk. These are the before and after results of external conditions. As for internal conditions, such things as ignorance, desire, and karma constitute the conditions, while the skandhas, dhatus, and ayatanas, they give rise to constitute the results of the conditions. They aren't separate, but this is how foolish people imagine them. This is what is meant by internal conditions. Mahamate, there are 6 kinds of causes: an immanent cause, a connecting cause, a characterizing cause, an instrumental cause, a manifesting cause, and an inactive cause. An immanent cause produces internal and external effects as soon as it becomes a cause. A connecting cause produces internal and external effects as soon as it forms a connection, such as the skandhas and seeds. A characterizing cause produces the characteristic of an uninterrupted continuity. An instrumental cause exerts supremacy like a chakravartin. A manifesting cause manifests causes and effects whenever projections occur, just as a lamp illuminates forms. And an inactive cause is the absence of projection that occurs with the interruption of continuity when something ceases. Mahamate, these are the projections of foolish people, and they do not occur sequentially or simultaneously. And how so? If they occurred simultaneously, there would be no difference between cause and effect, and it would be impossible to identify a cause. And if they occurred sequentially, it would be impossible to identify an individual entity. The non-occurrence of a sequential occurrence is like having no word for father in the absence of children. Mahamate, it is not true that what occurs sequentially is a continuity. It is merely a projection of what produces or what is produced by direct, supporting, continuous, or contributing causes. Mahamate, a sequential occurrence does not occur because it is characterized by an attachment to an imagined reality. It does not occur sequentially or simultaneously because it belongs to the perception of your own mind. And it does not occur sequentially or simultaneously, Mahamate, because the individual or shared characteristics of an external existence do not exist. It is only because you are unaware that the perceptions of your own mind are projections that forms appear. Therefore, you should avoid views of a sequential or simultaneous occurrence characterizing the operation of causes and conditions. The Buddha then repeated the meaning of this in verse.
Nothing arises from causes and conditions, nor does anything cease. At the heart of ceasing and arising arise conceptions of causes and conditions. This isn't to stop ceasing and arising, or the continuity of causes and conditions, only to stop foolish people from misconceiving causation. Something existing or not due to causes, no such thing occurs. The confusion of habit energy, from this the 3 realms appear. In truth, nothing arises from causes, nor does anything cease. Regard conditioned things, like flowers in the sky. Let go deluded views, the grasping and the grasped. Nothing has arisen or ever will, nor do causes or conditions exist. Nothing exists at all, and these are nothing but words.